This is Racer X with another video. I'm going to try to make this quick. A friend of mine, Mikey, asked me to make a video on the slipper clutch for the bike because he didn't understand it, and a lot of the people won't understand it because they don't have the proper manual for the setup and how it all works. So let me get into this real quick to help you guys out. Behind his boot, you will see a hole. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, you're going to put a hex driver in there. In other words, like a socket, but it's a hex driver for like RC cars and motorcycles and buggies and whatever. So you're going to need to find one that fits in that hole perfectly, or you can buy them on Amazon. I bought them on Amazon because none of my RC drivers or sockets would fit when they were 13 bucks. If you go up on Amazon, they're all black and they look long, like long sockets, and they're drivers, all one unit. So go up on Amazon to get them if you don't have them. Okay, so getting into this again, when you want to adjust your traction, whether it be high traction or low traction, you're going to stick your driver in there, put it against the nut. You're going to put your hand here, hold this tire firmly so it cannot turn at all. You're going to turn that driver that you put in there counterclockwise, which makes it tighter for more traction, or counterclockwise for less traction. What's going to happen with the slipper clutch in there, which is actually slipper plates and pads, is you're going to hear it cry like a baby if it's slipping, which means it's loose. If you don't hear it cry at all, then you know that it's at pretty much full grip, or it could have more grip. So you won't hear it slipping at all. It's just your preference on how you race, how you run it, how you do everything with the bike. Right now I have it at stock setting. If you want to study it, you go to this side and take this upper plate, this lower plate off. The bottom gear is that slipper gear. You wiggle it, pull it off, and it's real easy to do. And your bearing that's on there is on a bearing carrier. Your bearing carrier goes back into your aluminum plate. When you go to put it in, just make sure you put it in the right way. The other thing you want to do is you want to put heavy duty automotive grease inside of your gears, and get it biting really good with the grease in there. It's going to make it quieter, faster, smoother. Your gears are going to last longer. Now that's on the carbon composite gears that are stock. If you want to go to GPM's steel gears, and there's a few other companies that have them, then go ahead and do that. But you will need to change your pinion gear. You cannot run the aluminum 20-tooth pinion gear in here, which is stock, with the steel gears. It will chew it up really fast and you'll have shavings everywhere. What you want to do is you want to get yourself a steel pinion gear. Now, the shaft size in the middle of that pinion gear is 3.17 millimeters. So any pinion gear you get has to be 3.17 millimeters. Okay, the best place to get the 32 pitch gears, because that's what they are, for the transmission would be China. Because the gear pitch that they make for their pinion gears matches the GPM transmission gears, because they're all made in China, and that's how China makes their pitch, because they make a little different 32 pitch than we do here in the US. If you want to get something locally that fits almost perfect, and you'll never really have a problem with it because it's only off on the pitch by 1/1000 to 2/1000, you go to A-Main Hobbies and get their 20-tooth or 19-tooth or whatever you want pinion gear. Once again, 3.17 millimeters on the shaft size in the middle of the pinion gear. Okay, don't get into mod 1, mod 2, and all these other mods, because that's not going to work. They're for bigger motors. Okay, and A-Main has what you need. not just for the bike, but for your pinion gear. Your gear mesh should be, you know, a little loose, so they're not like squished together. There should be a little play in there. I would say about a 0.5 millimeter, and then you'll hear the gears. If you hold them, you hear the pinion gear clicking back and forth. That is a proper gear mesh. Okay, and then the rest will wear in on its own, especially with the thick grease that you put in there. Do not use shock oil. Do not use Losi grease. Do not use any RC greases. You have to use automotive grease from any automotive shop, okay, or online, Amazon, whatever. So, okay, so that helps you guys out on that, and that should get you going there. Always use blue Loctite on your motor screws when you do switch out your pinion gear. Do not put them in without blue Loctite, because the motor gear or the pinion gear will move either away from or into your transmission gears, and you will have all kinds of grinding and weird stuff. All right, I guess that'll do it. I think that's it. Just do some studying on slipper clutches from buggies, RC buggies and stuff, and that'll help you with other YouTube sites on how it all works and how to adjust it. One last thing before you start tightening the nut on the inside, make sure you take this plate off and take that gear out first and study it and measure it off from the top of the threads of the shaft to the top of the nylock nut that is in front of the spring. From the top of the shaft to the top of the nut. Write down your number, okay, on a piece of paper. Put it in your parts box. Don't lose it, because you need that reference to go back to day one. In other words, back to stock, you know, default setting. So just be aware of that before you start adjusting it. Once you do that, you put it all back together, and then you can adjust it all you want and mess with it all you want till you get your proper grip, you know, your proper grip function is what I call it, on the back end. And your tires, I mean, these are real grippy, so you have to change your setting on your slipper if you're going to run the Pro line hole shots. I mean, it's super grippy. Same thing with the Supermoto Pro line tires. They're super grippy. You're going to have to change it up a little bit. So just be aware that you're going to have to start working on the bike. If you're new to all this, for people who've already done RC and worked on their buggies and all that, this video is probably not going to be for you, but then maybe again you'll find it helpful. You know, like I said, all my videos, I've been doing it since I was 12 years old, racing professionally. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of fun, especially to work on for a lot of people. I know I get more joy out of working on it than running it. It sounds stupid, but that's how I feel about it. Hopefully you seen my videos on the tires, seen my videos on the chain setup, and our 3D printed products that we're going to be putting online for sale here pretty quick. I think we're almost ready to do that for Christmas coming. And I think that's it, man. All right, you guys are all set to go. Happy racing, safe racing. You know, enjoy yourself, and peace out to the next video.